I just want to call some of my friends to this live because so assignment 1 A1 paper human growth and development. In assignment section A, fifth question. What is psychology? Explain it. మనోవిజ్ఞాన శాస్త్రం అనగానేమి వివరించండి. సో మనోవిజ్ఞాన శాస్త్రం అన్నా సైకాలజీ అన్నా మనకు తెలియాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, ఫస్ట్ ఒక పర్సన్కి సైకాలజీ అనే పదానికి నిర్వచనం కనుక తెలిస్తే కనుక డెఫినెట్లీ దే కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ లెసన్ ఈజీలీ. సో సైకాలజీ అంటే ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ఒక మనిషి యొక్క ప్రవర్తన ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, తను బిహేవ్ చేసేటువంటి విధానం ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, సో ఇట్లాంటి అంశాలని మనము తన సైకాలజీ అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చా లేదా? సో ఇక్కడ వాట్ ఈజ్ సైకాలజీ, ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇట్ అనేసి అన్నారు సింపుల్గా. సో ఇక్కడ సైకాలజీకి సంబంధించి మన బుక్లెట్లో చూస్తే కనుక ఎరిక్సన్ సైకాలజీ థియరీ అని ఒకటి ఉంది. తర్వాత ఎరిక్సన్స్ 8 స్టేజ్ ఆఫ్ హ్యూమన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఉంది. సో మనం జస్ట్ క్రిటికల్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ ఆఫ్ సోషల్ థియరీ, పర్సనాలిటీ డెవలప్మెంట్ కూడా చూసుకోవచ్చు. ఎరిక్సన్స్ స్టేజ్ ఆఫ్ సైకాలజికల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ చార్ట్ కూడా చూసుకోవచ్చు. సో మనం ఏంటంటే అసలు సైకాలజీ అంటే అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఒక క్లారిటీకి వద్దాం. తర్వాత అసలు ఎవరు ఏం చెప్పారు, అసలు సైకాలజీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ ఎలా రాయాలనేది నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్లో పోదాం. ఓకే, ఫైన్. సో అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఎరిక్సన్స్ ఓన్ స్టోరీ ఆఫ్ personal development facilities and illuminates an understanding of the development of this psychology. It was a remarkably individualistic life that he led. Erikson was an illegitimate child, born near Frankfurt, Germany in 1902, of a secret romance between his Jewish mother and as unknown Danish man. His mother married when he was 3 years old, but Erikson took after his biological father in appearance. His blonde Nordic appearance made him stand out among his young Jewish friends. In Germany and other parts of Europe at the turn of the century, anti-Semitic attitudes were quite pronounced, as was seen with Freud. Okay, fine. అర్థమైంది స్టోరీ. సైకాలజీ అనేది ఎరిక్సన్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి స్టోరీ. సో వెన్ హీ వాజ్ బోర్న్ అండ్ 1902 year and for whom he born, so who her mother married with whom, so all these things explained in this, but actually we come to the subject directly. Erikson's psychology theory. Okay, Erikson extended Freud's work by describing stages of development to include the human lifespan, span. From infancy through old age, Freud had little to say about stages beyond his genital stage, adolescence. Although Erikson quotes him as stating that the important tasks of adulthood are to love and to work. By contrast, Erikson's stages of young adulthood and the middle and later years are well developed and offer many insights into the kinds of tasks presented to each of us by life itself as people mature and grow older. As with many other psychologists whose work is based in the psychoanalytic tradition following Freud, Erickson can be called an ego psychologist because he thought of the ego as something more than a check on the demands of the id and a moderate between id and superego. Rather, the ego has a life of its own, although partly conscious and partly unconscious. The ego more clearly represents the total personality than does the ID. Along with other ego psychologists, Erickson also stressed the importance of social interactions in development, as opposed to Freud's emphasis on development as a psychosexual process. The role of sex was indeed downplayed by Erickson, as it was by most post or neo Freudism. Okay, fine. Let's we come to the point. The stages of development and what is psychology? So here an overview of Erickson's psychosocial crisis and Sigmund Freud psychosexual modes. It's a one chart, but I don't want to go with that. Summary of Erickson's stage of psychosocial development chart. So we can go with this because stage infancy birth to 18 months, basic conflict, trust versus mistrust, important events, feeding, outcome. Children develop a sense of trust when core caregivers provide reliability, care, and affection. A lack of this will lead to mistrust. Early childhood, 2 to 3 years. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. Toilet training. Children need to develop a sense of personal control over physical skills and a sense of independence. Success leads to feeling of autonomy, failure results in feeling of shame and doubt. Some different topic it is. Psychosocial theory, it is very different topic. So even I will just go with the final key points, important points. Okay. Erickson's model is also called as biopsychosocial theory. Human development cycle or life cycle all refers to the same 8 stages of psychosocial theory. It being Erickson's most distinct work and a remarkable model, Erickson saw that each stage of development presents its own unique challenges, which he called crises. Erickson believed that these crises of the ego presented challenges to one's individual identity. Successful development of the personality or psychosocial development depends on meeting and overcoming these flaws or crises. The first stage of Erickson's theory of psychosocial development occurs between birth and 1.5 years of age and is the most fundamental stage in life. The crisis the child faces at the first stage concerns basic trust versus basic mistrust, the basic strength and of the first stage is hope or the expectation that difficulties in life, presenting whatever challenges they may, will eventually result in a positive outcome. This sense of hope is in turn needed to meet the challenges presented at later stages of development. The antith- antithesis of hope is a lack of hope and withdrawal. The second stage of Erickson's theory of psychosocial development takes place during early childhood, 11 and a half to 1.5 to 3 years, and is focused on children developing a greater sense of personal control. Children who successfully complete this stage feel secure and confident, while those who do not are left with a sense of inadequacy and self doubt. During the preschool years or play age, 3 to 5 years, children begin to assert their power and control over the world through directing play and other social interaction. Children who are successful at this stage feel capable and able to lead others. Those who fail to acquire these skills are left with a sense of guilt, self doubt, and lack of initiative. The fourth stage covers the early school years from approximately age 5 to 12 years. Through social interaction, children begin to develop a sense of pride in matter, accomplishment, and abilities. Children who are encouraged and commanded by parents and teachers develop a feeling of competence and belief in their skills. Those who receive little or no encouragement from parents, teachers, or peers will doubt the ability to be successful. During adolescence, 12 to 18 years, children are exploring their independence and developing a sense of self. Those who receive proper encouragement and reinforcement through personal exploration will emerge from this stage with strong sense of self and a feeling of independence and control. Those who remain unsure of their beliefs and desires will insecure and confused about themselves and the future. The sixth stage covers the period of early adulthood, 18 to 40 years, when people are exploring personal relationships. During adulthood, 40 to 65 years, we continue to build our lives, focusing on our career and family. Those who are successful during this phase will feel that they are contributing to the world by being active in their home and community. The eighth phase occurs during old age and is focused on reflecting back on life. Those who are unsuccessful during this phase will feel that their life has been wasted and will experience many regrets. The individual will be left with feeling of bitterness and despair. Those who feel proud of their accomplishment will feel a sense of integrity. Okay, సో మనము సైకాలజీకి సంబంధించి ఎరిక్సన్ సైకాలజీలో సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద మెయిన్ పార్ట్స్ ఐ కవర్డ్. సో నౌ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ వన్ మోర్ లైవ్. So for each question I am going to do one live. So for each live I have been taking time 15 to 20 minutes maximum. So minimum is 15 minutes. So then now I am going to start one more live with a one more question, one more link. So please come to my channel, whoever it may be. Please don't ignore my these efforts. Some of the friends asked me earlier what are the questions in assignments and what to read and what not to read. Really we don't have knowledge, so I'm just trying it myself. If it is effective on you, it will become useful for you. You may feel happy, or else let keep calm and cool. Thank you. I'm going to start one more live.